I'm Scott Jorgens from Endeavour Solutions. Online with me, I have Grant from ERP Connect. We're talking today about advanced CRM extension for Business Central. We're calling it Endeavour ACE. Our agenda today is basically a quick overview on what the CRM functions look like in Business Central and then how ACE makes it that much better. Additional pieces for dashboards, leads, contacts, activities. Grant's going to be showing that all live, and then we'll come back, we'll talk about pricing as well as comparison with how Business Central versus ACE versus Dynamics 365 CRM compare together. So first of all, Business Central has a built-in CRM. Clients have been using it for years, especially on Dynamics Nav. And on Business Central, there's a few that have embarked on that journey. Many others are just connecting it to Dynamics 365 CRM, or are potentially connecting it to Salesforce.com, or just doing without a full-fledged CRM. The setup of using the built-in Business Central is about 40 to 80 hours, and it does have functions for the role center, as you can see here. I'll put my little fancy pointer on. There you go, laser pen. You have sales quotes, sales orders, salespersons. There is a sales role center, and that allows you to get into the contacts, the customer segments, some opportunity management, and mobile apps. The setup, type into your search sales cycle, and you start setting up sales cycles, and then there's also segments for segmenting your customers, which goes into marketing, and these start adding in some additional fields into the screens that you're used to. You can have sales stages, and there's some complexity on what stage you're on, different percentages, and percentage complete, chances of success based on the stage, and that can start doing some weighting within your funnel and opportunity management. So there are functions within Business Central that do a fair job, but it starts linking pieces together. It has some mandatory fields that aren't necessarily mandatory. So campaign's a key aspect, and then it connects opportunities to interactions to segments so we can get proper reporting. Without doing that, the reporting is just sort of missing and lacking because you don't have that continuity. With the setup and the screens, none of it is just as easy or as nice as what you would find with Dynamics 365 Sales or Sales Professional, which is the proper CRM system. What happens is that lack of easy use does create some frustrations, sort of that square peg and round hole. We have the capabilities, but the added setup time, the added training time is just not as easy as what you would expect for an out-of-the-box CRM. Thankfully, we have the ACE, the Advanced CRM Extension. This is an extension that works with Business Central, inside Business Central. Your users don't even know that the extension is there. It provides the rapid setup, basically half the time, half the effort of customizing the built-in CRM, and a lot of added usability. Those screens are optimized, fewer clicks, a lot more efficiency for your salespeople, because in the end of the day, you want them selling, you want them accessing the information they need in a timely fashion, not spending all their time navigating a system and data entry. A number of pre-built KPIs and sales reports really make the difference in having this system provide that sizzle that you need to have for your salesperson adoption, as well as your sales leaders. As I mentioned, ERP Connect is online with Grant, and we're going to go through a quick demo. We have some information in a handout on our website, and we'll have that, the follow-ups. But here's just sort of a quick view of the contact card with the ACE, and Grant will go through this. But you get common CRM contacts, you get a timeline, you get these KPI tiles made automatically, and they actually work rather than in theory of built-in dashboards that, if not connected properly, don't provide those details you want. The sales rep checklist is a great to-do list, and sales reps really appreciate that they know what they need to be doing on a day-to-day basis. They can set reminders themselves. And then sales leadership can also follow up to make sure the checklists are completed in a timely fashion and can even get into pipeline reviews of what percentage of tasks have been done, how are those tasks completed in contrast to the pipeline and the accounts that your salespeople are looking at. So with that, that's my quick 5 minutes of about the CRM that's built in within Dynamics 365 Business Central. Now we want to get into a live demo, get into the guts of this, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about pricing and next steps. So with that said, let me move that. Make you presenter, Grant.
That sounds good to me, Scott. All right, so let's do the transition here real quick. Let me show my screen. Scott, can you see my screen?
I can see it, looking good.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. So for everyone on the call, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat box in GoToMeeting, and Scott will go ahead and read those out to me throughout the presentation. But like what Scott was saying, this presentation is about the advanced CRM extension. This is built natively into Business Central, and the whole premise behind it is we want to make your reps' lives easier in terms of having everything all on one screen. We want your reps to not have to worry about all those bells and whistles. We want them to focus on their pipeline, getting things to the next stage, being able to see their progress and understand where they can do better. And of course, as a sales manager, we want to give more visibility so you can help your reps grow and hold them more accountable. So with that being said, what everyone is seeing on their screen right now, this is the Advanced CRM Role Center. So whenever you log in as a manager to Business Central, whenever you log in as a rep, this is what you're going to see on your main screen. What you can see immediately is we have broken out that base Business Central contact card into an actual pipeline. Leads, opportunities, customers. That is the base level we believe a rep needs to successfully move people through different stages. So let's start with the lead contact card. And let's say as a rep, you just had a conversation with Ottawa Interiors. So within Advanced CRM, it's very easy to go directly from your role center, create this new lead contact card, put in all the information you need around Ottawa, tie yourself as the rep, create multiple contacts for this card, gauge their interest level, contract value, and close date, and most importantly, categorize them based off what they are in the specific line of business. So what you can see here is every single one of these fields is going to play an essential role in the reporting that we're going to be showing later. But most importantly, your reps can actually keep track of their pipeline now. When your rep gets a lead, they can go in and they can track specific activities relative to this lead. So if your rep had a conversation, they can go in and log a meeting, put in their notes, it's going to show up on their contact timeline. If your rep sends an email, which they can directly through Advanced CRM, your rep is going to see that email, see the content, see the time it was sent. And most importantly, if your rep wants to be proactive and they want to follow up with that person, they can schedule tasks directly through the contact card as well. Everything that happens activity-wise will also show up in the lead statistics. So if I already have a task for Ottawa Interiors, I'm going to see that I should be reaching out to them on 9/28. I can see this is a follow-up task, and I can see that I need to send Garth, the president, over a quote for 5 chairs and 1 table. So as a rep, I have absolutely everything I need to not only be reactive if someone calls me and know exactly what's happening with this lead, or be proactive in terms of my reach out. Now, in terms of a little bit more additional functionality here, we know how important it is to maintain proper processes, especially in a larger organization or an organization where you have maybe 10 plus sales reps. That's why you can also create your own configurable checklist. And you can actually make certain activities required for a lead, opportunity, or a customer. So if you want to get a lead to an opportunity and you need to send out an intro email, a product offering, schedule an introduction call and send that vendor intake form, you can complete all of these checklist pieces. If they're required, boom, that will show up in there as well. And once all of that is done, and you know for a fact that you've got a sales quote out there, and you think that this lead is going to close in the next month, you can convert them into an opportunity. Directly pushes that lead over. You can see right here in the opportunity card that we have Ottawa Interiors. And when you're finally ready to convert that sales quote into an order, you can convert them into a customer. So that's a quick idea of the process of pushing a prospect through the pipeline in Advanced CRM. What you can see here is we made it incredibly easy for a rep to go in and immediately see what their opportunities are. We've made it easy for them to put down all of that key information, for you to include your sales processes in that checklist, for them to easily be able to document their tasks as well as their activities, and then you are effectively pushing new prospects, you are closing them at a faster rate, and you as a manager have accountability into your rep's current process. So that's part one of the relationship management side of Advanced CRM. As you can see, this is all about making it easy for your reps to adopt, and it is very simple because it is all in one screen. I'm going to pause here real quick. Scott, any questions so far?
No questions so far. It looks awesome.
All right, beautiful. So let's hop into part two here. Your reps know what to do. Your reps are actively documenting their current prospects. They're pushing them through the process. Your rep is actively going in and pushing these deals forward by setting tasks for themselves. So where does this all play in? To your rep understanding their success and you as the manager holding them accountable. So here's part two. Every single rep that's using Advanced CRM will have their own custom dashboard. This is going to do the key things that every rep cares about. I mean, I used to be a rep myself. I want to know what's contributing to my W-2. What have I closed today, this week, this month? Where am I at to my quota? Where am I at this year? What do I currently have in my pipeline? So you can actually sort your entire pipeline as a rep based off estimated close date, based off contract value, if you want to focus on your biggest fish first as opposed to your smallest fish. You can focus on categories. So if I want to focus on just retailers or end users on Tuesday, I can dive right in. And of course, if you're a manager looking at this as well, you want to see when your reps actually interacted with the prospect and when their next interaction is going to be. So that's taking into account the two major pieces that a rep needs to be successful. You want to push deals forward. You want to understand how much is contributing to your bottom line. But we've also included breakdowns of all of those key activities. So what we talked about in the lead opportunity and contact card, all of those fields are incredibly important because as a rep, you're now going to be able to forecast your available revenue, your opportunity based off your specific categories. So if retailers are hitting extra hard, you can focus on retailers. Maybe do some more prospecting in that area because you know there's demand. You can see your sales item by specific categories. So if office desks in particular or office chairs are the big sellers, maybe connect with your marketing team and you can create a new potential promotion based off this data. Where you're at compared to your quota, how many leads you move to ops to customers. Every single bit of this specific dashboard is tailored to your reps understanding exactly where that revenue is coming from, making sure they're doing the right activities, and most importantly, all of this information pulls right into your manager dashboard. So if you're on this call and you're a sales manager, or if you're a VP of sales, or if you're a CEO trying to give your managers more reporting, this dashboard is absolutely huge. You can get an immediate look into your specific salespeople, where they're at quota, what their current sales are, number of tasks open, number of completed tasks, and also a complete overview of pipeline by salesperson and opportunity by salesperson. So you can see who your top reps are. You can see who's hitting quota, and you can dig in to that specific rep, and you can see what activities are making that rep successful. This is powerful because there's a lot of tools out there that will give you data, but not all of that data is actionable. What we want to accomplish with Advanced CRM and working with Endeavour is to create a purely actionable CRM system at the right price, built directly into Business Central. So now as a rep, you are creating more revenue opportunity, you're closing more deals. As a manager, you know which reps are closing, you know the activities they're doing, so you can scale up your team. So every single rep can close at least 80% plus of their quota. So that's the really big piece with the rep and the manager dashboard. These are all included in Advanced CRM as well.
I do have a question, Grant.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Can an inside salesperson create a lead and then assign it to someone else as an opportunity?
Yes. So in terms of how the process works, you can 100% have that process of inside sales rep pushing lead over to AE, BDR pushing lead over to AE. We know there are people out there that are prospecting that are really passing those deals along so they can get closed. So how that system works is really easy. If there's an inside sales rep, that inside sales rep will have their own role center. If they do all of those key activities to get that lead to the stage of moving over to an opportunity, once they click make into opportunity, or before they click make into opportunity, they can easily go switch the salesperson code over to that specific AE. So I'm going to switch this over to Ben. I'm going to make this into an opportunity. Boom. And as you can see here, Manning no longer shows up in my opportunities as an inside sales rep. It actually shows up now as Ben's opportunity, my AE. So you can see it's tagged to him now. So that process can 100% work in Advanced CRM.
Great. Thank you, Grant. Another question, I think it was on the sales screen. When a rep uses Business Central to send an email off to a customer, does the rest of the team or rest of the organization able to see that email, or is it only that person?
Yeah, so there's a few things to talk about in this specific instance. So number one, let's actually go through the email process itself. So there's two ways to send an email through Advanced CRM. Number one is you can send an email directly from the contact card. So if I'm going in and I want to send my classic estimate email, so you can put templates in here as well, I can just go ahead in and click that, or click first order completed. Boom. What's going to pop up is that templated information. This is rich text HTML, so you can put images in here, you can put your signature, everything works on that specific end. You can also attach different files if you have a specific intake form that you want to put in. And in terms of the specific fields themselves, you should be able to just go in and add multiple contacts just by putting in the classic semicolon or putting in just colon. So I'll go back to Matt on that one specifically. But you can put in multiple emails here. In terms of having a specific person that always shows up as CC'd on the email, I'll have to get back to our team about that one. I'm not too sure. But you can put multiple emails when you're sending things directly from Business Central. In terms of where the email itself shows up, once an email is sent, the email does show up in the contact activities, and it will also show up in the lead statistics as a sent email. So if you want some proof here, if you're a manager, that all of these people have been reached out to, you can go into your inside sales rep or your AE's contacts, and you can search based off the lead opportunities or customers in that space. So that's part one. Part two is you actually have your own marketing campaigns within Advanced CRM as well. So if you wanted to send an email blast to a specific group of opportunities, leads, or customers, you can actually go in, you can schedule out the start and the end date here, start time, end time. You can include leads, opportunities, and customers, assign it to a specific salesperson if you want it to be coming from me or from Ben at ERP Connect. And what's cool is once the actual process itself starts, every single contact on this list will be reached out to. They will show up in the completed contacts. And of course, you can create the email subject, body, all of these different pieces and see all of that in the scheduler or agenda side of the marketing campaign as well. So Scott, here's the big piece. And this is what really differentiates a Dynamics 365 sales or CRM, which is a much more robust tool, an advanced CRM. It's all of this email information will show up in Outlook. So if you send an email from Business Central, it will show up as a sent email in your Outlook email account. But if someone responds to that email, it won't automatically pull into Advanced CRM. You as a rep will actually have to go in, click log email, and just copy and paste that information over, or drag and drop that email over to the lead contact file.
Which honestly probably keeps a lot of the mess out of the system because it's not logging everything. It's just logging, here's that one confirmation. Yes, I agree to make the purchase. Okay, I'm copying, put that into my notes. And then the reps are probably looking at that email anyways and going into the system to say, okay, here's my reminder. I need to follow up in 2 weeks now.
Yes, sir. You hit the money there. And for everyone on the call, this process and everything that we put into Advanced CRM, it's meant for key activities only. We want your reps to stay focused. We want them to just dive into those key revenue generating activities. And that's kind of why we set up CRM this way.
I love it. I love it. The 80-20 rule, this cuts out all the noise and gets right into here's a pragmatic tool that reps can use, get that square peg in the round hole, and the price point's fantastic to make this accessible to everyone.
Yes, sir. So for everyone on the call, let's really cement all of this information for you. Let's just do a quick run through of if I was a rep and if I was using Advanced CRM. So let's start my day. 8 a.m. I'm looking at my pipeline. I'm doing a quick hour-long pipeline review. Go into my dashboard, check out based off estimated close date, what I have to close this week. I've got Cedar Rapids, Boca Raton. I've got Peoria chairs. I can immediately see what the estimated contract value is. I can go right in here and I can see what specific tasks I have for my day. So it looks like for Cedar Rapids, I have one task. I'm going to follow up on my tables order. Boom, call the president of Cedar Rapids, go into my Cedar Rapids contact card, log my phone call. That will show up in my contact activities. I can put what we talked about. I can immediately make this actionable. And once I'm done with that call task, I can go right into this same task card. I can set up a follow-up task. Boom, boom, close on chairs order, complete, and I have my new task already set for me, start of next week. So now I've got my opportunity contact card with Cedar Rapids. The president, Sam Cedar, wants to buy. Make them into a customer. Yes, boom. Set that up right there. Go into Classic Business Central and create my sales quote. So what you can see right now is I got that chairs order in. I'm looking good. I'm quoting Cedar Rapids, and now you can see since I converted them to a customer, they're going to show up right there. I can convert that quote to an order. That's going to go in Classic BC functionality. And once Cedar Rapids pays this order and the invoice is posted, you will actually be able to go into your customers at any time as a rep, and you can see the specific sales invoices in the contact timeline. You can also see them posted in the rep dashboard. So if I'm going to my rep dashboard right now and I want to see my posted sales invoices, Cedar Rapids will show up once that invoice posts as well. It's going to show as closed revenue, and it is going to show up as office chairs, sales item category per day. I now have a full-on process as a rep, and it took me less than 5 minutes. That's the real goal here. Reps, this is going to be incredibly easy. It is going to be simple to train on, and because it is all within Business Central, when sales activities like the invoice getting posted do happen, they actually show up directly in Advanced CRM instead of having to double track things or go into a different system. So your reps are happier, your reps are closing deals faster, and as a manager, you have immediate access to your rep success and, of course, being able to hold them accountable for what they want to do better. All right, so I'm going to pause here. Scott, that's all I've got right now. I wanted to focus on the key relationship management as well as reporting with the sales rep and manager dashboards. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Okay. So to recap on Grant's recap, rapid setup, lower costs, all this added usability, and really, those KPIs are amazing. When the rep enters in that they made a phone call or made an email, that's also updating the manager's dashboard. So if you're tracking activities within your team. It's not always best practice, but it is nice to see the activities and make sure that things are being followed up on. How many calls, especially when you're talking about inside salespeople, how many calls, how many emails per week. Some of those fundamental metrics, obviously you're trying to raise them higher up in the value chain and just following their sales and results. So pricing, $200 Canadian per month per tenant. So that's unlimited number of users. Each user does need to have a Business Central license, but there's not a single cost per user in contrast to what you would find with a Dynamics 365 CRM. This setup is a one-time fee, $7,500 Canadian. Again, that's quite a bit less than we would be finding with a CRM projects that are usually $10,000 to $20,000. We do have a special Q4 promotion starting October 1st till December 31st, and that's down to $1,600 Canadian prepaid for the first year. And there's obviously US pricing too for any of our clients south of the border. So it's a nice promotion to get it going. If you do want to purchase multiple years, then we can also lock in pricing in case there's any future increases. What I want to pull up here is just sort of a comparison between the various aspects. So with ACE and Business Central is currently $90 Canadian per named user per month, plus this $200 for the tenant. If you have one user, obviously it's going to be more, but if you have 10 users, that's like peanuts, $20 a user. Implementation fee of $7,500. We compare that to Dynamics 365 Sales Professional. There is just a CRM license, which is basically about the same as a Business Central license. It is available as an add-on, so if they have Business Central and get Sales Professional on top of it, then you're into about $117. But the implementation fees are going to be quite a bit more, and you're still not exactly inside the systems. There's some synchronization, but the actual sales resulting in, here's the invoices showing up within the CRM aspect is something that's unique to Business Central or requires additional integration efforts that, of course, Endeavour can do and does do for a number of our clients. Sales Enterprise is the most popular on the CRM systems. Its cost is $128 per user per month. If you're looking at Salesforce.com, the equivalent to the Sales Enterprise is in that $220 range. And then you want to get into the AI and additional and integration into Outlook. Salesforce.com starts pushing into the $250 Canadian and higher range. You can also start paying in US dollars, which again exposes you to that exchange rate. Implementations for full CRMs is in that 20 grand range to start, up to we have clients that are $250,000, $300,000 for full integrated CRM for larger sales team, larger customer service teams, and those aspects. And obviously, as you know, Endeavour, we have our CRM and ERP together, our GP support north, focusing on Dynamics GP, and then our purely CRM team that do these larger CRM projects on Microsoft platform. Looking side by side, so out of the box, Business Central, the CRM functions, you do have, obviously it's part of Business Central, you have quotes and orders, you have minimal contacts. Moving into the ACE, you're really getting all the extra pieces, that activity tracking, the breaking of the customer contact cards into leads, opportunities, and customers. That really helps both with the psychological side of your sales rep, as well as if you have a pre-sales person that's moving stuff in from leads to opportunities and all the marketing aspect. Having those broken up is really critical, as well as all the reporting to find that nice view of your funnel and make sure it's the right shape, right velocity, and moving stuff through towards close. Dynamics 365 CRM obviously has all the pieces. One of the larger ones that Grant mentioned is the Dynamics 365 will read all of your emails and can start populating your system and tracking emails from within Outlook. What we have is with ACE, you send an email through Business Central and ACE, that email will show up in your sent items within Outlook, still there, still held up in the cloud. If you receive a reply back from that customer, it's up to the rep to choose which ones they want, and then a simple copy and paste onto that client's card, and then it stays within the Business Central system. While the rep's there, they're most likely setting a follow-up, checking off additional to-do list items, and it's not an overly onerous effort because the reps should be in that opportunity or contact card anyways. For those that are new to Endeavour Solutions, we're now coming up to our 35th year working with Microsoft Dynamics, ERP, CRM, and cloud applications, advisory services, implementations across the board, and then ongoing optimization and support. The optimization and support is where we're helping customers get more out of their systems. So if you're an existing client of ours on Business Central and Nav, obviously we're here for your upgrades and ongoing support. Bringing in ACE will be a great way to further extend your systems into your sales and marketing teams. Obviously, if you need advisory and looking at your processes and systems and how to optimize your team, we can help with that as well. And ACE may be the logical recommendation for that, or maybe into one of the larger CRM systems. So with that said, thank you very much. Let's look to see if there's any more questions before we close up on final steps. There is one question. Will sales reps see open orders? Will they have access to inventory availability? Grant, I believe that answer is yes, because they will be full Business Central users. They get to use the additional screens for their sales component. Obviously, you are based on your role-based security. As we do with all Business Central users, you can choose how far and how wide of access you want to have your individuals looking at. Often sales reps have different security parameters and aren't running financial statements for the company, and we're definitely conscious of that. So in terms of reaching out and next steps, and for anyone watching the recording, You can visit us online, www.endeavorsolutions.ca, or if you're on Dynamics GP, wishing to stay on GP or moving from Dynamics GP to Business Central, gpsupportnorth.com would be probably your website of choice. And we have our purely CRM team focused on mid-market and enterprise large CRM engagements. Today's focus on the Endeavour ACE is really on the smaller side, and that would be our core Endeavour Solutions team for Business Central. So thanks very much, everyone. If there are any additional questions, feel free to reply to your webinar invite or to reach out to us online, and we are here to help. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everyone.
Bye now.